What's going on, guys? Predictions are us back again. Hope the holiday break was good to you guys. Merry Christmas, Happy New Year, all that good stuff.
Ho, ho, ho.
Yeah, there we go. A little Santa Claus action, is that what that was? Anyway.
Get the reindeer!
We're back again. It's been over 2 weeks, maybe close to 3 weeks since we've done a video, but holidays are over with and we're getting back on the grind here. So let's go ahead and jump into it. Exciting wild card weekend in the NFL world.
It stunk. Absolutely stunk.
Let's go ahead and do a quick recap here. 4 games over the weekend. Number 5 seed Buffalo Bills headed to Houston to take on the number 4 Texans. Went into overtime. Texans ended up winning that game 22-19. Game-winning field goal.
It wasn't a pretty game. Let's just say it wasn't a pretty game, but Texans come out on top. J.J. Watt's back.
J.J. Watt is back, and he actually looked pretty good in that game. He had 1.5 sacks.
Made the difference, I think.
In the comeback. Was really worried going into it about that torn pec that he had about 2.5 months ago. Surprised he was even able to make it on the field, let alone contribute to the win. But Josh Allen, quarterback of the Bills, 24 of 46, 264 yards. Also had 9 carries for 92 yards.
Whoa.
What an effort by him, especially on that first drive where they had the trick play where Brown ended up, the receiver threw him a touchdown pass for, gosh, I think it was 36 yards. So that was that's what really
that was maybe the highlight of the game.
Exactly.
The rest of it was
downhill after
kind of,
but
dumping out the garbage can.
On the other side of things, Deshaun Watson, quarterback of the Texans, 20 of 25, really efficient, 247 yards, 1 touchdown, 14 carries, only 55 yards. Still found a way to get his team in position to end up winning that football game.
Overtime.
This was what really surprised me, though, is the Buffalo led 13-0 at halftime. So that was 19 unanswered points at the end of the game before they hit overtime. What did you take away, and why do you think Buffalo fell so flat in the second half?
I can tell you why. It's something in the water in Buffalo because they lost 4 straight Super Bowls, too. They just suck in the playoffs. I don't know. It happens to a lot of teams that they get up and then they kind of take a sigh or breath, and then say, hey, we're up 13-0. We can just kind of put cruise control on and take this game. Or you can take it on the flip side and say the other team went in at halftime and said, hey, snap out of it. We got to get something going. It still wasn't a pretty game. Any way you look at it, it wasn't a pretty game. Yes, there's some pretty good stats there, but it really didn't look, it just was not a fun game to watch even. I think I turned away from it and then went back and it was 19-all.
Yeah.
When I think Bills went up 19-16 and then Texans ended up getting a field goal and then taking it in overtime. So I'm glad the Texans won. Don't get me wrong. I like J.J. Watt and I'm glad that he won a playoff game. I can't see him going any further than where they just went.
No, because now they end up in the bracket with Kansas City, and they're going to have to play the Chiefs this upcoming weekend. Jumping onto the other side of the AFC bracket, we had the Titans, the 6th seed, going to Foxborough, taking on Tom Brady and the Patriots. And this is, I heard this a lot when looking at sports media and hearing what people had to say and reading articles, was that they gave Tennessee a real shot to win this game, and they came out and they won it.
Yep.
20-13. The score is a little skewed because of the late pick 6 that Brady threw with about 5 seconds left. But this came down to the Titans punching the Patriots in the mouth and showing Bill Belichick, you think you can stop us, well, stop this. And Derrick Henry did that with 34 carries for 182 yards.
Right, yeah.
1 touchdown. He was averaging 5.4 yards per carry.
He was over 200 all-purpose.
On the day. Yeah, also had a catch for, I think, 22 or 26 yards, something like that.
They said he just clipped 200 yards all-purpose.
But that was, that was a display of smash mouth football. That was good old-fashioned run the ball.
It isn't that the Patriots didn't get the ball back or what. The Titans just flat out stopped them from moving the football. I don't even know if they made it past midfield. I can't remember right offhand now. But
I think maybe a couple times when they scored, but other than that, it was 4 and out.
No, they're at the end of the fourth quarter. They had a couple of chances to at least take the lead. It was 13-14
for the entire second half.
Yeah, they didn't score the whole second half, so the defense really stepped up. But you figure the offense, Tannehill would have done something. I mean, it was actual defense that got the second half touchdown. So
Absolutely, because they think, going into this, you would think that Tannehill would have something to do with the score ending up the way that it did, but really it was a story of defense and winning
running
the
the
game
football
on the ground.
That's right. That's right. Running downhill, like we've said in other episodes.
No field goals,
Run downhill.
no offensive touchdowns in the second half from either team. The only score that happened was by a former Patriot, nonetheless, and I can't remember the gentleman's name, but the cornerback that played for the Patriots last year.
Yeah.
From Tom Brady, of all people. But the real question is, was this Tom Brady's last game as a Patriot, or will he end up retiring in the offseason? That's the real question.
I think Belichick is going to stay, and I think Tom Brady, I mean, there's probably going to be some discussion. I heard that he did say that he wants to come back, but I don't know if Bill Belichick wants him back, because I think he wants to start fresh with someone else while he's still, what is he, 80 years old now?
No, we don't
he's
know.
coached for
We don't know.
forever. But anyway, I seen this coming. Back when we, from the first podcast till now, I said, Tom, hang up the cleats, buddy, because the game's getting faster. When you get older, your reflexes and your thoughts get a little slower. And to me, he ain't no Brett Favre. Brett Favre still had a gun on him, even when he retired. He could still throw it a mile. And Tom just doesn't do that. I mean, he just doesn't take those chances.
Right.
And that pass that got picked off he should have just thrown it up downfield or something. Was it fourth down?
It was either third or fourth down, and there was like 10 seconds left.
The guy was all over him. So, I mean, It was either going to get tipped or picked. And actually, I think it got tipped and picked.
Yeah, both.
So,
best of both worlds.
Anyway, I'm glad the Titans are in. They're probably not going to win another one. I do like Tannehill, but we'll get to that here in just a few minutes. So,
Right. A lot of people are comparing this decline over this past year to Peyton Manning his last year with Denver.
Yeah.
Whenever the defense was able to carry him to the Super Bowl, because we know that he ended up missing a few games, and Osweiler had to come in the playoffs and actually get the team to the Super Bowl before Peyton could win it. But we have two more games to get to. We got to get through that a little more quickly than the first two. We have the 6 seed of Vikings going to New Orleans to take on the Saints as a 3 seed. Another game that went into overtime. Wow, Kirk Cousins, man, in this game really proved a lot of people wrong. I expected the Saints to steamroll this team. As good as the defense is, we know how Kirk plays against winning teams, and it was not the same Kirk of old. Vikings ended up pointing out in overtime with a touchdown. Saints didn't even touch the ball. Kirk was 19 of 31, 242 yards, 1 touchdown, no turnovers.
It was almost, he dropped that ball, right in there. It was perfect. A perfect pass. You couldn't have passed it any better, and you couldn't have caught it any better for that. What did he end up on inside the 5?
Yeah, like the 2-yard line. But yeah, Adam Thielen, and thank God he was back to be able to contribute to that spectacular play. And Cook was back as well. Dalvin Cook is back. He had 28 carries for 98 yards, couple touchdowns. He's starting to get back in the groove of things, and I really think that he's going to be another dynamic piece for Kirk to work with in the backfield as well as his receivers. But Drew Brees on the other side of the offense there for New Orleans had
New Orleans curse.
33 attempts, completed 26 of those passes for only 208 yards, 1 touchdown, 1 interception, and 1 lost fumble on the day.
The fumble killed him. That fumble just absolutely took whatever wind was left.
You can't fumble inside your own territory.
They did
That's
end up
unacceptable.
coming and tying it and going into overtime, but the Saints offense, I find it hard to believe that they don't score 40 a game. I really do.
Yeah.
With the weapons they have, and their backup quarterback who plays running back, blocker, wide receiver, quarterback, and he throws the ball well. So I would throw so many plays in there that they would be just virtually unstoppable.
Right.
But they just, I don't know what happened either. They missed a gear somewhere, but Cousins does play well against good teams. He people make fun of this guy, but man, what a game he played. You could have played better, but he played pretty good.
I was about to say, you can't play much better than he played, and getting the win against a team like that was even more impressive.
Hey, I'm happy for him.
Like I said,
I'm not a fan of either team, but I'm happy for
the
him.
Saints did not touch the football in overtime, and this is another thing that people are complaining about, is that should they get an opportunity to match the touchdown. And this is where I think
Here's my thing
the
about
defense
it.
needs to
I
step up.
understand,
That's what
but
it comes down to.
the thing about the Saints is they should have never been there. They stumbled past the 50 a lot of times. Just stumbled, either drop pass or a missed pass or bad running play, whatever you want to call it. But when you got Hill, there is no reason why you can't. If you got 3rd and 5 or whatever, this guy can get a first down. He's averaging over 5 yards on 3rd downs, and he's only missed 1 all year. So,
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
I think it has to be the curse. At this point, I think it has to be the curse.
Well, it's the swamp water and the silver or whatever dome that is.
But losing
What
to
dome is that?
the Mercedes-Benz Superdome.
Superdome.
Yeah.
Superdome. Super stinky.
But now losing to the Vikings two out of the last 3 years, and then losing last year to the Rams on a ridiculous pass interference.
Should have been
call.
in the Super Bowl
But-
last year, but
Let's go ahead and move on to the last game.
moving on.
This one I wasn't really too excited about, especially after the first quarter. But the Seahawks went to Philadelphia to take on the Eagles, and I mean, I would say they took care of business, but the score does not reflect how ugly of a game that they played, unless you're Russell Wilson. Wilson was 18 of 30 for 325 yards. These are some like Madden football stats. His wide receiver Metcalf 7 catches for 160 yards. They were probably playing on rookie mode. And then on the other side of the ball, Carson Wentz goes down with 2 minutes left in the first quarter, replaced by journeyman Josh McCown, former Bear.
Josh
Man.
McCown.
Hey,
Oh, what a
for
piece
what,
of work.
for what it's worth, the 40-year-old, that's right, 40-year-old, was 18 of 24 for 174 yards, no turnovers, no touchdowns. And their kicker,
Well, that's good.
kicker Elliott was 3 for 3 on field goals. But it's sad when the highlight of the night was your kicker going 3 for 3 because you lost by 8.
Right.
This was really just an ugly game, especially after Wentz went out, which was not a dirty play. Don't get it twisted. Once a quarterback steps over the line of scrimmage and doesn't slide, he's a runner. At that point, you can get hit. And it is what it is. It's unfortunate, but I think you have to look at it as Carson Wentz has had a history of getting injured, especially over the past 3 or 4 years. You hear all the Dak Prescott, Carson Wentz comparisons.
The Eagles have nobody to blame. They got rid of their good quarterback. They should have kept the guy that took them there. Wentz should have went somewhere else, and they would still be.
Here's the argument with Foles is that he's only good when he plays for the Eagles, but people, I guess not people, but the coaches didn't seem to understand that.
Nick Foles, he's a good quarterback, and Wentz is just I don't know, he's made of glass or something. But anyway,
But yeah, that was that.
neither team I care for. The Eagles beat my Cowboys in the division, which the division was the weakest in football. But Seahawks, I cannot stand their gum chewing idiot coach. So
Pete
the
Carroll.
sooner they're out of the playoffs, the better for me. Pete Carroll. Pete gum chewing Carroll.
Anyway, let's go ahead. Let's wrap up the NFL here. We have the 8 teams set for the divisional round. The 4 winners will move on and play in the championship games. In
We
the
picking
respective
now?
Conferences.
We picking them?
We're going to pick them right
Okay,
now.
let's roll.
Right now for you guys. We want you guys to do the same. Let us know in the comments below who you think will make it to the conference
These
championships.
are winning games.
So, here we go. The first one in the AFC, the Baltimore Ravens will host the Tennessee Titans.
It's Ravens.
Here's the thing: the Ravens are going to win this game. I don't get it twisted. I would love for the Titans to get an upset here. I would love for Derrick Henry to rush for almost 200.
Oh, I love Tannehill.
I would love for Ryan
But-
Tannehill to have a great game. But I think at the end of the day, the Ravens are too dynamic. Lamar Jackson, Mark Ingram, Andrews, their tight end. I mean, they're
rested too.
Yeah.
Look out.
they're coming, and they're going to win this game. You concur?
Yes, Ravens.
All right, let's go to the other game. Houston versus Kansas City. Here's the thing: Andy Reid's undefeated, coming off a bye week in the playoffs. So let's just, for what it is, I'm going to take the Chiefs. I'm going to say history is.
They're
gonna
playing in
repeat itself.
KC. I mean, Texas they're going to go from whatever weather to Chiefs weather.
Chiefs weather.
It is.
I mean, you're playing in Arrowhead Stadium. It's going to
The
be
wind
loud.
swirls there and
It's gonna
all
be-
kinds of.
It's going to be cold.
It's going to be the Chiefs. I love J.J. Watt, but the Chiefs are going to win this one.
Also,
I like
the
their quarterback.
Chiefs here. Yeah, absolutely. Mahomes
Yeah.
is a stud. Let's go to this game. First game in the NFC. We got the Vikings going to San Francisco to take on the Niners, way out of their element. But do you give them any hope to win this game?
The Vikings?
Yeah.
Not much.
Not
I mean,
much.
they have a good offense. I mean, the Niners have a great offense.
And then
When they show up to play, I mean, I think the Niners with the rest, they shouldn't have any trouble winning the game.
So you think great offense is better than great defense?
Yes.
Yes. All right. Well, I
He
want
gets
to
rid, but he gets rid of the ball. That's the key.
Kirk Cousins after over the weekend. He makes me want to root for him, and I want him to win. But I just think the Niners are just a complete team.
Should have stayed in Washington.
And I don't think they'll be able to pull it out either. Seahawks Packers for the
Going to
final
Lambeau.
game. Going to Lambeau Field.
And the Packers had a week of rest. Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah. Here's the thing. As much as I don't think the record reflects how good Green Bay is, I don't think that Seattle's going to be able to go to Green Bay in January and win. So as much as it pains me.
It would be a fluke if that would happen. But Wilson, to me, their offense seems like his brain has a hiccup in it. And he starts to run, and then it's like, figure out what you're going to do. You should have a clue by now how many years you've been in the league, where you're going to go with the football. And Aaron Rodgers and the Packers.
Yeah, as much as it pains
What
me,
about you?
I'm going to take the Packers.
Yeah.
Too. I think all of the top seeds win their respective games. But don't.
Well, I just don't think. I mean, I'm not counting anybody out, but
No, absolutely not. But don't be surprised if there is an upset, maybe even two.
Can J.J. Watt come out and get 5 sacks? Yes.
He could.
He's that good a player, but I can't see it happening.
Again, let us know in the comments below who you guys will think up in the conference championship. But with that,
Let us know if you have a sleeper that we don't know about.
And with that, we'll move on from the NFL to some NBA action. And it's been a while since we made some predictions in the NBA. But since the last time we did this, I have added up the records from the last video up into our season total, if you will. And you are now sitting at 500 at 14-14. We both went 5-4 last week, respectively.
I don't take Denver anymore.
I am up to 17-11, 6 games over 500. But there's still a lot of basketball left to be played in the season, and that could very well change. We're going to go ahead and get into our picks for January 8th, Wednesday. There's 9 games, I believe. Yes, there's 9 games on the schedule. Starting off with the Toronto Raptors going to Charlotte to take on the Hornets. The Raptors are favored by 3.5 in this game. I honestly think it should be more, but
Yeah.
I'm going to go ahead.
I'm
going to take the Raptors in this one.
Toronto, Siakam,
And, well, Siakam's hurt right now, but
who cares? He'll be there probably on the bench.
it'll be okay.
He's a good cheerleader, too.
We got the Miami Heat going to the Indiana Pacers. Indiana favored by 1.5. Which I'm surprised, but
The Heat have cooled off some.
Yeah.
I mean, they're not near as hot as they were a couple weeks ago.
I see what you did there. I think I'm still leaning towards Miami on this one. I did just go to the Indianapolis for the Pacers Nuggets game last
Thursday.
week. Was it the 2nd? Yeah, last Thursday. They ended up losing that game, but it was a close one up until the end. But again, the Heat are not the Nuggets, but I'm taking the Heat. I'm taking the Heat in this one.
I'm taking the Heat.
All right. Let's go. Spurs going to Boston to take on the Celtics. Boston favored by 5.5.
Ooh. The Spurs are right now the 8th seed at 15-20.
Did they knock the Blazers out?
I'm just telling you what I looked up today.
Interesting.
8th seed. Can you believe it? 15 wins or 8th seed.
I'm going to go with the 2nd seed in the East over the 8th seed in the West. How
I'll take
about that?
I'll take the Celtics.
All right.
What's this for? 5? Yeah.
Let's go. Bulls, Pelicans. New Orleans favored by 3.
You know what? The Bulls have been lucky for me. I'm going to take the Bulls.
All right. I'm going to take the home team in this one. I'm going to take the Pelicans. I would imagine the spread for this would be even, but they're giving them 3 points because they're at home. I'm going to take the home team.
Bulls.
Let's go. Wizards at Magic.
There's a barn burner.
Orlando favored by 3.5 points.
At home?
At home. And it's not even that I don't think the Magic are a bad team because they're still technically a playoff team.
Here's the
in
thing.
the East, but
The Bullets have been winning lately.
I'm leaning towards taking.
I'm sorry,
in
the
this.
Wizards.
Former
The Washington Bullets, if you're as old as me. So Yeah, I'm going to take the Wizards. The Wizards have been winning, so I'll take the Wizards.
Interesting. We got a double upset here. All right, here we go. Your favorite team here. The Nuggets. The Nuggets going to Dallas, taking on the Mavericks.
Boban!
Dallas favored by 2.
I'm taking the
I'm gonna take
Mavericks.
the Mavericks in this one. Yeah, I'm going to take them too. It's not that I don't think the Nuggets are good. I don't know. Mavericks are at home.
Don't
They've got
bet
2
on the
points.
Nuggets.
I'm taking the Mavericks.
The Nuggets stink at betting. When you bet on them, they don't win.
But yeah, we're going to go ahead and do that.
The beard.
The Rockets going to Atlanta, taking on the Hawks. Houston favored by 8. That should pretty much tell you. Actually, I thought it would be more now that I'm looking at it, but
You know what? The Hawks can surprise you at home.
they've won 7 games.
At home.
Oh my gosh! Don't do that. Don't do it.
No,
Don't
I'm
do
going
that.
to take the beard.
Don't do that.
They're just too much. There's too much talent there.
2 games left. We got the New York Knicks going to Utah, taking on the Jazz. Utah's favored
Oh
by
my gosh! They got to cover 11 points.
Utah's favored by 11 at home.
Wow. Boy, people, what do we do on that? I mean, it was 5 points.
I mean, it's not that I don't expect the Jazz to not win. It's that I don't know if they'll win by 11.
It's very possible against the Knicks, but that's a pretty good spread. I'm taking the Jazz.
Yeah.
I'm taking the Jazz.
I think that I'm going to take the Jazz too.
You know what? You guys can do what you want out there, but the Jazz are a pretty good team.
It's really a hit or miss here with these next.
And the
couple
Knicks are either somewhat good or not good. So there's no, they're good tonight. No. They might hold within 10, but I don't know. That's a
It's
coin
a coin
flip.
toss. Yeah. Last game, Milwaukee Bucks going to Golden State, taking on the Warriors. Milwaukee favored by 10
Captain Travel
on the road.
on the road at the Warriors. I'm taking the Bucks.
Yeah,
Bucks.
I haven't.
Because they're going to let him travel out there because the Warriors do it too. So
No, remember they do
4 steps.
They do
or
the illegal screens. That's what they
illegal.
Like to do.
That's it.
That's what they like
Green
to do,
will just knock somebody down, and it's fine when you're out in California.
Before we conclude this NBA section of today's episode, we want to go ahead and give you our picks for the East and West All-Stars. And now, before I say this, I understand that everyone is entitled to their own opinion, and I would like to say that this is who we would like to see in it, not necessarily who we think will be the 5 best players from each conference. Okay, so with that said, we're going to go ahead and get into it.
They're my 5 best players.
And my 5.
Because there is no way in hell that I'm picking crybaby LeBron. He can sit there and hand out water bottles.
Anyway, so our picks, I'm going to go ahead and start with mine. For the West, I have Luka Doncic, of course, MVP candidate. Really should win it if I'm going to be honest. If the Mavericks keep this up, and
Well,
then
it's got to be him or Boban. It's got to, Boban. You've looked it up per 36 minutes of playing time. He's the king. He's the king.
First of all, I'm not even going to respond to that because we don't have the time.
Okay, yeah, right. But you have to admit he's pretty good per 36 minutes, right?
Yes. Okay,
Everybody, put in the comments below if you're a big Boban Marjanovic fan.
Okay. We all love Boban, but I'm going to get through this. So Luka Doncic and then Damian Lillard is who I would like to see in it. I love Dame, and I know the Blazers aren't doing too hot, but he's having one of the best seasons of his career.
Baby Dill.
And then for the 3 front court players, I have Kawhi Leonard, obviously, he's my favorite player in the league. The Brow, I love Anthony Davis. And then one that may or may not be surprising, I have Brandon Ingram. Having a breakout season for the Pelicans, averaging like 26 points a game.
Yeah, he is now because the Brow left.
Hey, they needed somebody to step up.
When he doesn't get the ball 80 times a game, then you can step up.
So, for my dad's picks in the West, he also has Luka Doncic and Damian Lillard. I just think that we both like those guys. And
here's the thing. I didn't know his picks.
No, we didn't know each other's picks until we're doing it now.
Right.
So
I didn't know his picks at all. So that was
and another interesting thing is for the 3 backcourt members. I keep saying backcourt.
Front
court. Excuse me. He also has Kawhi Leonard and the Brow, Anthony Davis. For his fifth player from the West, he chose Andrew Wiggins, which I don't disagree with. I just think that the Timberwolves are really bad, and if they didn't have an
Hey,
all-star,
that don't mean he's a bad player.
I'm just saying. And then again, you contradict me and say that Brandon Ingram is also playing for a bad team, but he's also averaging.
Right,
more
but I'm
than
saying he
Wiggins.
could. I only said he could step up because the Brow left. Now he's going to get more. He's going to get the ball more. So
that's
he's really improved.
You know, I'm not.
And he's
disagreeing with
taken
Pitt.
advantage of the opportunity that he's got since the Brow left.
Yeah.
I'm not saying he's a bad player.
No, not at all.
He's not the Brow, but
He's good.
Yeah,
that's what we're trying to
that's
say.
fine.
The Brow, right here.
right. I understand.
Okay, we're gonna go to the East. We're running out of time here. We're gonna go to the East here. My two backcourt members, Kyle Lowry from the Raptors, obviously no explanation, and then Bradley Beal of the Washington Wizards. I think Beal's just really put the team on his back this season. It's really becoming a versatile player.
He's not bad, but I mean, I don't know, man.
And for my three front court players, Pascal Siakam, I know he's injured right now. If he gets healthy, I want him in there. Jimmy Butler,
Oh yeah.
no explanation needed. And then my third one, Taco Fall, Boston Celtics. I know he's only played
Part time.
in like 6 games, but if we can do it, go to NBA.com.
I think he's got to have a minimum of X amount of games.
Go to NBA.com and vote for Taco Fall. They can't stop all of us. Vote for him now.
I like Taco,
we're gonna
but I
go
didn't
ahead.
know he was going to be listed.
So if we go over to my dad's East All-Stars, his backcourt,
The underdog I picked.
Fred VanVleet of the Raptors.
Boom.
I'm not going to argue it. I mean, it's a Raptor. I love Freddie. And then, of course, Derrick Rose.
I took
of
that
the
for him.
Pistons.
I
Well-
took it for him because I don't really like Derek.
Oh, man. See, that
I'm not a big Derrick Rose
I
fan.
didn't need a pity pick, but I
He
appreciate
gets hurt too much. They ought to call him the Band-Aid Rose.
Leave him alone.
Oh, my knee, my back, my knee. Whatever.
All right. The three front court, he also chose Pascal Siakam and Jimmy Butler.
JB.
And then he chose Kevin Love. Did you really think he wasn't going to get through this without taking Kevin Love? No, that wasn't going to happen. But anyway, those are our 10, 5-5, obviously, for each conference. Let us know your NBA All-Stars in the comments below, and make sure you go to NBA.com/vote and vote for your
Vote,
All-Stars.
baby.
Game is in Chicago this year, just so you know. All right, we got a couple minutes left. We got to hurry up and talk about this. The Danville Dashers, we ended up going to a game after a couple weeks of not
Awesome
being able
game.
to go.
Awesome game.
Very close, very competitive. The refs suck, but that's a story for a different day. The Dashers
They were awful.
the worst.
awful.
The worst set of officiating I have ever seen.
Had the whole crowd. I mean, I never seen that in Danville where the whole crowd was in unison,
Yeah.
telling them they sucked.
Yeah, refs, you suck.
We had a good time. It was like one voice out there.
But the Dashers are 4-2 in their last 6 games, so they're on a little bit of a winning streak here, if you
Yep.
will. Jesse Gordychek, halfway through the season, he's 11-8 for his overall record, and he's got a save percentage of .926.
Nice.
That's pretty solid. It's not .931 that he did have. He's had a couple rough games.
They beat him to death this game.
he's
He got
still-
checked out of the box and no penalty. Can you believe it? Checked out of the box, no penalty. He finally just had enough and tossed the net over.
Yeah.
And threw his glove off and
Which-
threw the stick.
Do you blame him? No.
No, don't blame him. He got a penalty.
Patrick Zelak and Justin Brosnan made it back in the lineup after missing a few weeks, so glad to have those guys back. And then
Zelak.
Levi Armstrong, he's really coming into his own and becoming like the main enforcer for this team. I know this because this team has been without Chris Affinati. He's appeared in 1 game so far this season, and Armstrong has stepped up and really filled that role of making sure that teams know who they're messing with when they play the Dashers. Anyway, so with that said, the Dashers' next game going into it, like I said, they're on a little bit of a winning streak here, is against Battle Creek. And they're terrible. Not that they don't have good talent on the team, because they've been able to score goals and stop goals. Just
Is that
not
the
enough.
Bumblebees, right?
The Rumblebees.
Okay. Yeah, okay.
The Rumblebees.
The
yeah.
jerseys look like a tablecloth to me.
But they ended up winning their first game over the weekend against the Elmira Enforcers, and they are now 1-25 on the season. So congratulations.
You're off the snide.
It didn't go winless, and that's always something you can celebrate a little bit. But now you got to get ready to come to Danville so that we can kick your ass. But no, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. No disrespect to anybody that plays for Battle Creek or if you're a fan, but it's
Go get them.
It's
That's
been-
all I can say. Go get them. Play every night hard
But
And it'll get better.
That is this Friday at 7:05 Central Time at the David S. Palmer Arena, Battle Creek versus Danville. Like I said, puck drop 7:05. Get there a little bit early. Tickets are only $10 a piece, $9 if you're a student or if you're under like.
Where can you have more fun for $10?
Seriously.
Just go out and do it.
Just do it.
Popcorn's good. Pop's
How
good.
many times have we said it? Just go do it.
Just do it.
That's what it
We
comes
have a
down
lot
to.
of fun. Good music that's being played, and you get to see a fight or two.
Yeah, or you know, if you're Armstrong,
Sometimes in the stands.
if you're Levi Armstrong,
right.
you can get into 3 in the same game.
That's right.
But
Come out and see them.
listen, you're not getting bad entertainment either. Danville is 14, 10, and 2. Those 2 being overtime losses on the season. They put a good product on the ice, and seriously, you cannot get more bang for your buck when it comes to going to a Danville Dashers game.
It's a lot of fun.
So what are you waiting for? Go do it.
Go do it.
Anyway.
Do it.
Hey.
Just do it.
That's going to go ahead and wrap it up. If I can talk.
It's all
It's
right.
here.
Well, we were, you know,
But yeah.
talk about Derrick Rose. Maybe his jaw's hurting too. That's kind of your
Think
feeling.
it's like rubbing
I don't
off
know.
on me here? Is that
I
what
don't
it
know.
is?
Derrick Rose is always hurting.
But anyway, don't forget to go visit the Dashers this weekend, Friday, 7:05. Puck drops at the David S. Palmer Arena in Danville off Main Street.
$10.
Also, don't forget to go to NBA.com/vote and vote for your NBA All-Stars. Luka Doncic, Anthony Davis, maybe somebody else. Tell us.
Boban. Vote for Boban.
Vote for Boban.
Yeah.
But seriously, no, go vote and go to the Dashers game. If you like what you hear here, if you like us, if you like what we do, please leave us a like on the video. Make sure you hit that big red subscribe button down below, and also hit the bell icon next to it so you guys get notified whenever we post a new video like this one.
Right.
And with that said, I think that we're going to go ahead and wrap it up here, and we'll see you guys next time.
Later.